Hello everyone and welcome to the garden. I want to do a video here showing you the proper way to, when you're growing your onions, to harvest them and stuff like that, and explain exactly how an onion works. Everybody knows you just plant the sets in the ground and they grow. Some people though don't have good luck with onions, and then when it comes time to harvest you really don't know what to do. So basically what an onion does is you put the set in and it grows. Onions are super hard to kill. They're just an easy plant to grow, and if you've got good soil you're going to get good tops. And this isn't even the best soil, but I mixed a lot of rabbit manure in with it, and these things have just gone crazy this year. I've got about 100 sets of yellow and 100 sets of white here, and as you can see they've been growing really good. One thing with an onion, what it does is it grows on top, and the green on the top gets big, and when Mother Nature says, okay, I'm done, all of the, if you want to call it energy or whatever that's into the top green, then goes down and creates a bulb, which becomes the onion. Now we're just letting them grow real nice, and we're going to come back later, and when these things start to fall over all by themselves, then we're going to help them out a little bit. Here we are now a few weeks later, and as you can see, our onions before that didn't have any bulbs have started to make some bulbs. Before, when I did the video, I couldn't remember which side I did the yellows and which side I did the whites. Now I can clearly see we got yellows here and we have whites there. On the tops of the onions now, as you can see, they're starting to die off. They're getting a little bit brown, they're curling over a little bit and stuff like that. And some of them have started to fall over. If we go over here, this is just naturally falling over. So if they still have some time to go here, but what we're going to do is just watch them. We're going to come back in a couple more weeks and we're going to see how they're doing, and then we'll just, like I said, help them out a little bit, and eventually we are going to harvest them. Okay everyone, well here we're back now. It's been more than a couple weeks since the last video clip, and as you can see the onions have continued to fall over, and Mother Nature is real easy with onions. As soon as they start to fall over, these tops have lost color and stuff like that, it's time to think about harvesting them. Now there's a process that we have to go through here. We wait until about 85% of these have fallen over, which they have, and now what we're going to do is we're going to help them out. The ones that haven't fallen over yet, we're going to gently push them over, just like this here, just to end their growing cycle. The reason why we do this is we want to harvest all these onions about the same time. I mean, you can harvest an onion anytime during the whole entire season, but I want to store these so I have onions throughout the winter, which it might be warm out right now, but that's coming pretty soon. So we're going to dump these over, and then we're going to leave them sit into the ground for about 10 to 14 days. We don't want to go anything really more than the 2 weeks, because organisms that are in the soil, start to eat away at your onion and do stuff, and then later on during storage it can cause it to rot. So we're going to push them over now, because with the other ones over, they're already into this cycle of 2 weeks. So I'm probably going to wait about 10 days. We're going to push all these over right now, wait about 10 days, and then we're going to continue with the harvest. Alright, well we're back. It's been 14 days since we laid these over. Now we're going to go through and we're going to pick these onions out. As you guys have been watching, most of these, the bulbs are kind of above the ground here, so they should pull real easy. If you happen to have any that are completely under the ground, you'll want to use a shovel. We want to keep that top on there, and then we'll pull them up. Okay, so we're just going to go through and pull these up, and we just want to lay them on the soil, leave a little space in between them. If we see any of them that have any insect damage or anything like that, we're going to pull them out and keep them out of we don't want them to contaminate the other ones if they have any rot in them whatsoever. So just go through and pull all of your onions. Keep in mind when you're picking your onions, you want to try to do it when the soil is dry. You don't really want to pick it after it's rained the night before. We're trying to dry these out. We don't want them to have any extra moisture in them. Today was a nice sunny day, soil's fairly dry, good day to pick them. So just keep that in mind. It kind of helps you out with your drying and curing process. Okay, now that we've picked all of our onions, and I went through and I did find 2 of them. This one is soft, it's been rotting. Throw that one out. There was one here a white one that I see has a little bit of damage, it's split and stuff like that. This is one that I'm going to use right away. So I'm not going to put this in with storage because if something were to go wrong, it'll contaminate the other ones. Now what you can do, since this process here takes just a couple days, we're going to pull them out of the ground, just let them kind of cure, get everything hard on the outside. And you can just pull them out of the ground and leave them right on top of the soil like this for that. You would want to separate them, nothing touching each other, you know, just like something like so, just a little bit of air moving between them. But I want to water the garden because the tomatoes are going nuts. I need to get water on them. So I'm going to take and pull these and just put them in another area. I've got a little spot of tar right here where the sun doesn't hit real hard. We don't want this to get real hot right now. Tomorrow the temperature is going to be around 80 degrees. A little bit of a breeze tomorrow, should be a good day. Next week we're going to be into the 90s, getting a little bit warm. So let's pull these off. I'm going to put them on the tar and separate them, and we're just going to leave them there for about 2 days. Alright, so here we have our onions. They're all laid out here now. If you live in an area that just has high sun and everything like that, you can take these and throw a bed sheet or something over them. Just keep them out of the direct, real hot sun. I mean, here it'll get it off and on tomorrow during the day, and it's not a big deal. But if you have real hot sun, or if you have a lot of heavy dew in the morning, throw a sheet over it overnight, pull it off during the day then for the dew. We just want them to dry. We don't want them to add any moisture to it. So, alright guys, well, I will be back here in 2 days and we'll go to the next step. Okay everyone, well, I've taken them in from outside and now I left them in there for 2 days. You can leave them for several days if the conditions are right, but we're supposed to get some real hot weather here coming up. And so I took them out. I opted to put them in the workshop here. I've got windows I can open in the morning when I come out and I do the rabbits. I open up the door and I get a nice breeze in here. Unlike potatoes, where you just put them in just like a dark place and everything like that, and it just kind of sits there. These, you want to get a little bit of air if you can in here to get them moving. Come out here and every couple of days we're going to turn them. I don't have time right now. Tomorrow I'm going to come out and what we're going to do is we're going to take a scissors and cut these and leave about 1 inch of the top on it. Any of these that have a real thick top or anything, you want to use those first. They're not going to cure as well. But like even now, I laid them out on the tar, and when I went through them, I grabbed them and I just squeeze every onion. If you get any of them that are soft or anything like that, or soft spots, toss them out or cut that part out and use them right away. Onions are something you can use at any time. From the time you plant them till now, you can use them. And the way to get them to store for a long time is to get them properly cured. So once we cut these tops, we're going to turn them a little bit here and everything like that. And the longer that you let them cure, the longer that they will stay. So basically, if you could, and I'm not going to be able to leave them out here because in a few months it's going to be frozen out here unless I have the stove going, you come out and you use them from your supply and bring them in there. But we're going to let these cure now. We're going to cut these tops tomorrow, and then we're just going to let them dry like this for a while. What we're looking for is we're going to want the roots here to become wiry. They're stringy right now. These should be wiry, and the outside skin should kind of rattle. And you know, you guys buy onions in the store. You know what they look like when they're properly dried. So anyway, let these sit. Tomorrow we'll come back and cut the tops, and we're just going to let them cure. Okay everyone, well there they are. They're all cut now and it's just a matter of letting them dry. Like I said before, you can use these anytime through the whole entire growing process of the onion, and it's no different right now. We want these here, the roots to be wiry, and the skins will be kind of shaky and rattly and stuff like that. Every time you come out to check your onions though, give them a little squeeze test, go through these. Today now I'm going to be doing a bunch of dehydrating onions for winter use, so I want to go through and anything that's a little bit soft. This one feels a little bit soft under the skin. I'm going to pull him, put him in my little thing, and I'm going to chop those up and put them in the dehydrator. After these have dried sufficiently, like we talked about, you can go ahead and put these into you want to put it into like a mesh bag or something like that. It has to be able to get air, and just keep them in a dark place like you do all your other onions. Alright everyone, well thanks a lot for watching. I hope that helped you guys out in knowing what the life cycle of an onion is, kind of how it works, and I hope you better understand how you're supposed to harvest these to get the best results. Please feel free to comment, subscribe if you want to watch more of my videos. We've got a lot of them out there.